Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector here, just going through some retro game stuff that I'm basically separating to put up for sale. I found a few different sales channels that I can use to clear out some of the collection clutter that I have at this point in the year. I tried doing a like a game trade exchange type of event, and it didn't quite pan out how I had hoped. And so I'm going to be moving in a different direction when it comes to the games and where I'm going to be selling them and things like that. But this video is not about that. This video is about a decision that I have actually made quite recently, something that I had asked the channel about a number of times, something I had gone back and forth on a few times in my head, but something that I ultimately had to make a decision on. And I wanted to do this before the end of the year. And I feel like the sooner, the better. And that is the decision to start a second channel um, for a couple of reasons. So I've tried blending different topics on my main YouTube channel, um, and it hasn't been successful. And I'll tell you in what way it hasn't been successful. It hasn't been successful in that usually when I try to, and this is not just my channel, this is just YouTube in general. Whenever you try to talk about multiple different topics or categories or things on a YouTube channel, the YouTube algorithm is designed to not necessarily shut you down, but it's not going to optimize your reach. And the reason for that is because YouTube is very user specific, meaning that YouTube is designed to route videos to to the same people that typically like those videos. So what do I mean? And I know I'm making this sound probably more complicated than it is, but what I'm saying is that if you're a YouTube channel and you've built your audience around watching play with yo-yos all day, everybody that comes to your channel is coming to your channel for the specific reason of watching you play with yo-yos. Um, if you decide now to turn around and start playing with action figures, there's nothing wrong with playing with action figures. And there's a good chance that a lot of your audience might appreciate watching you play with action figures. However, the algorithm is going to be a little bit confused because the algorithm is used to pushing your yo-yo videos, not your action figure videos. And because of that, your reach is going to be very, very limited. Now, I've always said on my channel that I don't necessarily make videos for the views. Like, I'm not necessarily looking at, okay, I got 100 views on this video, I got 1,000 views on this video. However, I do make videos, and a lot of times I'm trying to drive engagement in the comments section. I like to see the comments, I like to read the comments, and then usually after I've read comments, I'll turn around and make another video based on the comments, just because it's easier to make video responses and I'm able to talk more in depth about whatever comment I choose to, or comments I choose to respond to. And so with YouTube, making it difficult for the reach on my channel, I've decided that it just probably makes more sense for me to start a second channel. When I look at my YouTube analytics, a lot of the analytics show me that on this page, on this channel, the majority of my followers are young men between the ages of 20 and 45 to 50, right? So, and this is a age group of men who are probably just getting into their careers, maybe midway through their careers. A lot of these are probably millennials and maybe like late Gen Xers, guys who are probably fathers, guys who are probably, you know, at the phase of life where maybe they're collecting more for nostalgia's sake. You probably grew up in the late 80s, maybe the 90s, and you can, a lot of what I say and a lot of my references, whether they be pop culture references or music or whatever, a lot of times, this age group can relate because you're from that phase, you're from that, that era. But I think that there's a lot of topics that men between the ages of 25 and say 45, or even 20 and 50. There's a lot of other things that we deal with, a lot of other topics that go on in life. I feel like there are values that uh, men have, and I think that there is a lot of rhetoric online, and I feel like there needs to be more spaces where young men can just come together, talk, share thoughts, share ideas, outside of video games. Because as cool as video games are, there's other things that we think about and we talk about and we discuss as men, including health, fitness, finances, society. Not so much politics, because I don't really get into the politics thing. I'm not, super political. Um, Even though we just had like a major political event yesterday, and much of the country woke up this morning either really happy or really sad based on who you wanted to win this year's presidential, who you want to be your next president, rather. But I just feel like creating a channel where I can kind of have some of these other conversations more in depth might work out better, in the sense that these topics will reach more people, and by these topics reaching more people, we'll be able to have deeper conversations and deeper discussions. I've gotten comments on my channel. I've also gotten DMs also on Instagram from people asking me to talk more in depth about issues outside of video games. So this kind of tells me that there is a bit of a somewhat of a demand on my channel for my thoughts and opinions on things outside of video games. And so I want to be able to separate the two, and I don't want to feel like I need to kind of drop a little bit of, you know, um, thoughts outside of video games on the main channel. So I'm going to keep the main channel about retro games and video games. There's a lot of really cool things happening for me with that. I've got a few really cool videos coming up this month on the main channel. For one, my 30th PlayStation anniversary 5, 30th anniversary PS5 Slim is coming in this month, so I can't wait to make a video about that. That's exciting. I've got some massive trades coming up here this month as well, so that's also exciting. I've got some changes that are going to be happening with my retro collection, so that's also exciting. So there's a lot of cool things happening on the video games front. Plus, I'm really wanting to start getting into streaming. Shout out to Heck and Steve. I've been watching and jumping into a bunch of his live streams. He has some really cool live streams, and yeah, he's playing video games, but those streams just become rooms where guys can just have conversations. A lot of times I'll jump in, and anyone who recognizes me will have small conversations. So live streams are just a really cool way to kind of come together as a retro gaming community. So definitely want to start incorporating more live streams on the main channel. But I am going to be launching a second channel, which is really going to have zero to do with video games. So I'll be dropping a video later on this afternoon, which will have more video game talk. But in that video, I'll be sharing the link to the new YouTube page or YouTube channel. And I strongly encourage anyone who likes to talk about things other than video games. I strongly encourage you to go check that channel out, because it'll be good. And that channel definitely is going to have potential to grow a lot more. And I could definitely see it reaching more people because of what we'll be talking about, and just some of the things that we'll be discussing. So, but that does it for me. Today is a very beautiful day, so I plan on getting in a lot of exercise today. Which that's another thing I'm going to be doing on that channel. Definitely going to be having a health vlog there. I think as men, we got to take care of our health, but I'm not going to get off on that. I'll save that for the other channel. But until then, I will catch you in the next video. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.